Welcome everyone back to the channel. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, check the link, check the description for a link that will take you straight to Amazon where you can buy today's game. Now, today we're reviewing Love Letter Premium Edition. Now, I have done the review on the original, and so make sure you check that out. So that you can get an idea. Maybe one's better for you than the other. I certainly prefer this one over this one, but you'll see in a minute. So this is now a 2 to 8 player game. This was only up to 4 or 5. This right here is much better. It takes about 30 to 60 minutes, but versus the other one where it took almost as long, this one's way less boring. There's more cards that bring out this game's potential, and as you'll see in a minute. So the same story, as far as I remember, a lot more cards, and so it's still the draw, play, and then player elimination card game that it was before, just taken to a whole new level. I absolutely love this one compared to, the original. Now, don't get me wrong, I like this bag, but the cardboard box is just much more conducive to putting it on my shelf and without having to find a good spot to put this bag. I mean, it's still soft and I like touching it, but I think I prefer the box. Now, another thing I mentioned before, I love inserts that, don't take up too much space. So they're smaller, and it's condensed so that everything can fit in there perfectly. This is a great insert. I love this insert. And the new thing is that we have sleeves that come with the game for our cards. So if I can pull out, here's a new card, the Baroness. You'll see more later. So here's what the actual back looks like. Here's the sleeve. Yeah, just keep the cards better. The game will last longer. I was so happy when I saw this. When we got the game, I was actually kind of disappointed. Like, my dad was gonna go buy games. I was like, oh, another Love Letter, and then we kind of played with it. And I was like, dude, this is great. I love this. So a lot more love tokens because it's now a 2. Oh, and we have ripped the bag. There's a hole in it now, so I'm gonna just replace it. There's a new love token for his name's either the Joker or the Jester card. I'll show you later. He does something special. Now there's more than one way to earn love tokens, making the game much faster, and at least faster paced, same time, but you get a lot more out of it, and I've had a lot better feedback with this one than I have with this one. So that's kind of a comparison right there. So some of the pros I've already mentioned, the box, the sleeves, and the insert, the more players, I feel that it has better artwork. I think they touched up some of the original things, or maybe it just looks better on a bigger card because these are bigger cards. I'll give you a size comparison. So here's the king. If y'all remember him, or you'll see him later. And I pulled out the guard. If you look at the comparison, it's a lot easier, especially for like younger players, to hold these cards versus those really small cards that they drop all the time. And then everyone knows what they have, and you feel bad when you use that to your advantage because you really don't have a choice at that point. So let's look at some of the cards. I love these cards. Oh, and then. So they added a lot more cards, and here's the list right here. So we have a bishop, which is now it's a higher level than the princess, but it's not the card you need at the end of the game that automatically wins you. There's a dowager queen, a constable, a count, a sycophant, a baroness, a cardinal, more guards. Say a different picture. So it does the same thing. Here's the jester that I was talking about, and then the assassin. So the reference card is double-sided, so, less stuff in the box, and I usually just kind of take 2 of them and play with both of them. Something I found out, and I do myself, is people will be flipping around to find things, and then they'll kind of read it, and you'll know that they have that. So if I have both of them, I don't even touch them. I just kind of glance at them as I read them. Oh, they just kind of fell out. That's just better strategy I found. All right, so we'll put these references to the side. Oh, and then if I can, right here. You can see back there, so the box is, I think, absolutely beautiful. It totally fits the theme. I love it. I'll show you more of the box later. So let's look at these cards. So here we go. The Prince, if you remember him. Here's the Count. So if this card is in your discard pile at the end of the round, then it adds 1 point to your hand. So what happens is, if the princess has been discarded and that player's out, everyone else adds up the numbers in their discard pile, and whoever has the highest wins. So not only do you get the 5 for this, but you get an extra 1 for that, I believe. Or maybe it's actually that's the way we accidentally were playing. Excuse me. What it actually is, everyone plays their last card, I believe, and this just adds 1 point to this. So everyone compares, whoever has the highest wins. Here's your princess. And I think they did touch up these cards. Same pictures, just kind of make them look better for bigger cards. Here's the handmaid, if you remember her. Here's another baroness. Oh, and another thing I never mentioned. So there's these little leaves, and there's actually stars in the other one, but these little leaves tell you how many of each. So there's only one jester, but there is, was it 8? I don't think that's right. That's weird. Well, here's the other guard. I didn't get that. That's weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. Here's priest. Here's your dowager queen. So it's the baron, I believe. Yeah, you choose a player. You secretly compare hands. The higher player, the player with the higher card is out of the round. So if you have like the assassin, which is a 0, or the jester, which is a 0, and you play that, you'll win against anybody unless they have the same thing. Here's the constable. He if you play him, he gives you a life token. That's one of the other ways you can get life tokens, is the constable. So the game kind of speeds up a bit. Here's the king. Here's another count. Here is the handmaid. These cards are upside down. Priest. The bishop. This one's a bit weird. So he's like the guard, but if you guess correctly, then you get a life token, and then they get a new card instead of that, because clearly everyone knows them. Here's the baron, the sycophant. I can't remember how this works. So choose any player. If the next card played has an effect that requires one or more players to be chosen, they must be one of them. Oh, so you play it on somebody else. It still stays in your discard pile, but for the next person that plays, they have to play abilities that aren't good on them. So maybe a guard or a baron or a dowager queen. Here's the assassin. I love this one. So if you have this card in your hand, when another player chooses you as part of a guard's effect, they are knocked out of the round, and you are not to discard this card and draw a new card. So the guard's effect is when someone is guessing what card you have in your hand. So, if someone plays this on you and guesses, no matter what they guess, they get, they're out and you're still in because of the assassin. Here's the cardinal. You choose 2 players. They must trade hands. Look at one of their hands. I love that card. There's some more guards. Another sycophant, cardinal, guard. And another baroness, which is choose 1 or 2 players, look at their hands. I found that it's actually important that they put 1 or 2 there, because occasionally, if I'm only playing with 2 people, we're not sure we weren't sure if this card was legal, and then we remembered it said 1 or 2. So, clearly you can only look at one other hand, not including your own. And actually, where's the jester? Did we look at him? I wanted to explain what his ability was, and that yellow heart, because that's just interesting, and that's one of the other ways. Here it is. So I'll put all these cards back in here, out of the way. And here we go. So choose another player, give them a gesture token. If they win this round, you gain an affection token. That's a good card, especially if you're down to 2 people, and it's you and somebody else. Or, if you're out of the round, this card is still in effect, so if they win, you get a love token anyway. That's about it. There's a lot more cards. There's a lot more of, enjoyable playtime than there was in the original Love Letter. As much as, I love that bag. I've played a couple games just so I could kind of play with the bag the whole time. there really isn't any cons, unless you just don't like the theme, because it's the same theme. The queen is in prison, and they're trying to marry her to save the kingdom, or something like that. I rate this an A compared to my original 5.5 for this love letter. Is much better, and yeah, I mean, in comparison, this so much better. I love this compared to this. It's just, that one's just bad at this point. Now that I have this, I avoid this game like the plague at this point, now that I have this one, because it has all the original cards. You didn't lose anything, you just got more cool stuff. So thanks for watching. Make sure you comment feedback on my video and suggestions for other videos I can do. I'll see you in the next Before You Buy video. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.